Hello,
Hello,
everyone. Welcome to the Women's Cave. I'm here. I'm Jade.
and I'm Winona.
We're here. We have a guest today, but she's going to introduce herself in 1 minute. So, as you know, we are the founders of the And I Throw It Ladies, and we've written a few books and
Just a few.
a few, not a whole bunch. So here we go. You know how we do, you guys. You know I have to plug you so you can remember our books.
Plug.
Here we go with the plugging. And the first book was And I Thought Divorce Was Bad with Other Life Lessons. That's available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. And I
You're
thought
doing such
being grown up.
Sorry,
I'm
I
doing
interrupted
what?
you doing the plug.
See, look at this. I'm trying to be professional with you guys. You know how no goes. Always rewarding my professionalism. Anyway, and I thought being grown up was easy. And this one is also available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. And I thought I could juggle it all, which is going to be out for pre-order over the Labor weekend. So we're just very excited about that.
Can I now interrupt you?
Now interrupt me. Go ahead.
Thank you. She took so long. I forgot what I had to say. Anyway, it goes.
Deep eye roll, you guys. Deep eye roll.
I just wanted to say you did that very, very professionally today.
Thank you.
She just got her nails done, so you recognize she's doing modeling. And I thought, right.
Yes, I was Vanna Whitening it, you guys. Although I don't really know who she is because we watch real television.
Right, you are not lying. Anyway, and I love how you had to stop and I have to get a jab in because she did a jab with my lipstick teeth and I haven't got her back yet. So I'm loving how you had to stop to read your own title. Very well done.
You know what? It is early in the morning, you guys. You know how I feel about my coffee. I need an IV drip, but I don't ever have one. So I just have to drink cups and cups, and I only had not even one.
Okay, hold on. And then she moved her coffee across the studio. So we're waving to it in the distance.
And I'm looking at it longingly right now, why didn't I take it and put it next to me? Why?
Because if her eyes cut off this way, it's because she's wishing the coffee over. If it flies over, she got that jet eye. But anyway, we're moving on. You said you're going to do an ingenious segue.
Wow. And see, now I'm totally off subject. But the book, And I Thought I Could Juggle It All, is really interesting. And I'm very excited for it to come out about 7 different women about their stories about how they had love and relationships and work. And our guest today actually had a conference in the spring about spring cleaning. And every once in a while when we spring clean, that helps us to have a better balance, to be able to juggle it all. And would you just go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, ladies. My name is Tamika Sabri, and I reside in Suffolk, Virginia, and I am the founder of Crazy Love 101. Thank you for allowing me to be on your show.
It's a pleasure to have you. We're excited because love is crazy.
Yep.
And we need a 101 class because I always get thrown in advanced classes like 301 and I never know what I'm doing. So 101 is good.
It's not.
Let's start from the bottom.
We need the 101.
Yes. So quick question. How did you start? So what was the 101 of 101? That was so corny. Do not take that seriously. But answer the question if you can.
So I started because this is my first marriage, of course, and I was proposed to 3 times. And so they say third time's a charm. So I didn't think I was ready the first 2 times I was proposed to. So the third time, I just knew he was the one. And he is the one. But throughout life, throughout relationships and marriage, we still go through things. And throughout our marriage to me is hard. Sometimes it can be a job. And I feel like it shouldn't be a job. I feel like it should be more fun, more easygoing. And so my husband and I went through some trials and tribulations. And a lot of us go through those trials and tribulations in marriages. But I didn't want to be the one that ended our marriage. So I felt that I should do more research. And when I started doing research on divorces, I saw that the first marriage, 40% ends in divorce. And second marriages, 73% ends in divorce, and so forth. So I didn't want to be a statistic. So I started Crazy Love 101 because I wanted to save my marriage, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was still learning in my age. So I wanted to learn how to save my marriage. And so my husband and I started doing different exercises. I learned throughout my marriage that men, especially my husband, he likes to have affirmations throughout the day, like thanking him for taking out the trash, thanking him for paying the light bill, telling him he's handsome. Those simple things can save a marriage. So I found that out about him. So I was like, wow, there are some things in love and in life that can save someone else's marriage. So I started Crazy Love 101 because I didn't want to be a statistic and I wanted to save my marriage. So that is where and how I got started.
Oh,
Wow.
I
That's
guess I should have known you a little earlier.
no. I mean, it's fine, but that is just a very interesting point. I mean, I'm married and I've been almost married for almost 6 years, so
Right.
it's absolutely one of those things. Everybody has a learning curve, and people will tell you, "Oh no, this is supposed to be this way," but you have to
Right.
figure out your own unique way. So
Yeah.
our next question was going to be like, why did you get this passion to do it? But now we know. So
Uh, that's true. That was my passion. I didn't want to be a statistic. And when I saw how many marriages end in divorce, even your second and third marriages, the statistics were so high. I wanted to save my marriage. I wanted to be more fun. I didn't want it to be always a job, a daunting task. Even the people that were single, dating is a daunting task. I felt like it should be fun going out there. I have single girlfriends. I thought that, it should be more fun for them to be dating, not so boring and not so serious. So I just felt like, this is something that I'm very passionate about, saving others, saving my marriage, and saving their marriages. So that is very important to me.
I have a question for your girlfriends. If it's boring, do you think they should just choose better restaurants? That is a joke.
it is. It is.
Because even if the person is boring, the food can be exciting. I have
Or
found that out.
or the drinks can be
Food.
excellent.
Yes.
Or the
Yes.
drinks can be
So
excellent,
my hint,
especially
just
if he picked you up. So then that way you can have more than like 4. Yeah.
I
and don't
I
forget.
have some drinkers. My girlfriends are drinkers. I found out that, yeah, the drinks are even more exciting sometimes than the men that they go on dates with.
Oh my goodness, so true.
So
I've
true.
been divorced, so like and I've been divorced like 10 years ago. So I've been around a bit, so you go out. But I just pick cool restaurants. That's what I learned from the first one. First one, I was like, I love him. I'm gonna pick bland restaurants. Not all day. No, now I'm like, the food is good, the drinks are good, and you're a little boring. Just keep ordering. No, I'm
Well,
joking.
also I think it's also because as we are very good friends and as we know that all the time. So I think we as we get older,
Mhm.
we start to go out to better restaurants, and so we know, like, wait, we're not going there. That's ridiculous. We're going here.
Right.
I can afford here, and you cannot. I don't think this is probably gonna
Right.
Not
work
gonna
We
out.
go to
fly.
So this is
Applebee's.
good that we know at the beginning.
You
Uh,
can now add that to your seminars. Go figure.
Yeah.
So no, as a person who's been dating and married and has gone through both tribulations and being single and being in a long-term relationship, what do you
Mhm.
think are like the 3 best points that we should know as a single person and in a marriage relationship?
3 best points that you should know about men or about dating or
3 points about dating, and then 3 points you're going to need to know to survive marriage, or I shouldn't say survive, to flourish in marriage. I got divorced. I'm always like survive.
let's go with the 3 points in flourishing in marriage. Definitely the first one is communication. Um, I found out my husband was in the military when we first met. So our communication was based a whole lot on emails and phone calls when we first met. So we were so used to that. And then when he got out of the Navy, it's almost like we were face to face and we didn't know how to take that. So we had to learn how to communicate face to face. So communication is key, whether you're doing it via email or face-to-face interaction. You have to learn how to communicate with your spouse. Number two is trust. Having that trust in your marriage is definitely high up there. You have to trust in your marriage. If there's no trust, I don't see why you're married. You have to trust in your marriage. So trust and communication goes hand in hand. And number three is I really think you should have fun in your marriage. My husband and I are always having fun. I had a blog where we had a date night. That was the best date night we had ever had. We went to see K Michelle and we went to my 20th class reunion. And that night we went to see K Michelle. It was raining when the concert ended. And I had braids that night, even though my hair is natural. But he was like, I'll go get the car. I don't want you to walk in the rain. I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I got braids. Let's just walk in the rain. We walked in the rain. We kicked up the water and we had that best conversation, I think, ever, just walking in the rain. We didn't care that we got wet. It wasn't that drenching rain, but it was a good rain. But it was the best conversation we ever had and the most fun we ever had in a long time. So I think just having fun in a marriage will make a marriage last a very long time. So those are the three: communication, trust, and having fun in a marriage will make it flourish.
I think
I'm sorry.
I think that just is so beautiful. You're gonna make me believe in love again.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
Walking in the rain, so everything. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have to talk to myself. Why don't we walk in the rain? Oh wait, we did that in Paris and I didn't like it. So
yeah, that's so true.
You went to Paris. We were just in downtown Norfolk.
Yeah, but
I have to have those memories. You just have to have those memories. Yeah, it's awesome. Dating, I tell my girlfriend all the time, don't hold back. I think when you're dating, you need to ask all those questions that you want to know. I don't care if it's how many kids do you have? If they have 3 kids and that's if you're not going to want to date someone with that many kids, you need to know how many kids that they have. I think not holding back is key to dating. Ask as many questions as you want to ask. I'm always upfront when I'm speaking. Sometimes my husband says I'm too upfront. But I think when you're dating, you have to ask the key questions. So I have started creating these date cards that I'll be selling on my website so that women can start asking the right questions when they're dating. Because sometimes they'll start, and being in a serious relationship and they realize they don't even know the person because they haven't asked the right questions. So I think asking the right questions is everything in dating. I don't care if you have to write them down on your first date. So to me, that's everything in dating, just asking the right questions.
Yes. May I add a little tip to that? Just like if you take a date card, please do not do this. And then how many children? No, that's how many. No. If you had 3, it would have worked. But that's too many. No, I'm joking. Can you give us an example of one date card? And then I promise I'm gonna let Jade talk. Although Jade is happily married, so it's always so weird for her.
It's not weird for me. It's fine.
An example of a date card?
One question on a date card.
Oh, one question on my date card would be, gosh, I had those questions written down. Now I'm just drawing a blank here.
You're on the spot.
I know, right? That happens. One of my questions on my date card was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That was one of my questions because we're always in the now. Like, oh, this guy has this now, that now. We're always looking like we have tunnel vision. I need to see the bigger picture. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you want more kids? You're in this position now at work, but do you see yourself in a bigger position, or are you content with where you are? So that's one of my biggest questions. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, in 10 years? That's one of my questions on my date cards.
That's a really important
It is
question.
an important question, and
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in in
Hmm.
that, like, to ask the important questions at the beginning, because I believe in, like, let's not waste time. Because
Right.
that is like the deepest disrespect. Because I could get money back, I could get like a whole
Uh-huh.
bunch of things back, but my time, if I've wasted it, then I'll
That's
never,
right.
even if I live up to be 100 years old, get this minute back, and I have
That's
wasted
right.
it. So it's important to get it out there and in the open. I mean, even when I was dating my husband, I asked him very interesting questions.
Uh-huh.
Even my mom was very out there and very straightforward, and even she was like, "Wow, I'm gonna need you to tone that back, like, too." And I was like, I know I need to hold it back, but I just didn't want to waste my time because I could have
Right.
been doing something else with that time. I mean, not saying
Yeah.
that I don't want to get to know him, but I mean, if he wasn't the one,
Right.
then I needed to be on my career or doing something
Hmm.
else
You're
instead
right.
of wasting all this time. And I think there's a lot of women,
Hmm.
they are in these relationships for like all these years, and then they recognize, oh my goodness, this is not even
Yeah.
who I thought he was. You're like, yeah,
Exactly.
you should have got that cleared up at the beginning.
Um,
That's right.
Or
That's a good
trying to
point.
change somebody,
Hmm.
and you're like, they're not going to change if they don't want to change. So
Exactly.
you have to really think about these things and be honest with yourself and have your list of what
Hmm.
you want, your pros and cons list, and be honest. Like, if this person isn't on my list, like these
Yeah.
qualities, he does not hit them that are on my list that I know I need to live, then you need to let that go.
Right. Yeah. That's a great point. You cannot get back that time. I
Nope.
can look back on at least one relationship and I'm like, oh, I wasted so much time. So yeah, you're right about that.
Not only does the 5-year question help with not wasting time, as Jade pointed out, because she
Hmm.
wastes time, especially in relationships. I'm still astonished at how well her relationships went.
Right.
She was very, very, very upfront. But the other thing is that the 5-year question, a lot of times you get in a relationship and you think you have the same goals. You could even get to the point where you get married and you thought you had the same goals, but then you find out,
Hmm.
like, in year 2 or year 3, you did not have the same goals. But if you
Hmm.
at the beginning, like Jade said, and asked the
Right.
5-year question, like you said, we would all
Hmm.
be a little happier now.
That's right. You're
I
right.
can't lie. I did ask the 5-year question. It was just his goals changed. So
I mean,
That's true.
you have to
that
revisit.
happens.
You have to revisit. And I mean, especially as you were talking about in a marriage or any dating relationship or any relationship in
Hmm.
general, communication is key. You know,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it's like a boss and you want a promotion, like you're just an employee and you want a promotion, like you need to have that communication. You need to know what they want,
Right.
so then you can meet what they want, so you can get your promotion. And the same
Right.
thing in a marriage or even in a family or even like your cousins or whatever. You know, still have to have a conversation so you can
Right.
figure out where you're going. Because if you're just pulling things and out of your hat and just pulling things all in,
Hmm.
and you're just mixing up the wrong salad. And now you just have everything in there that everyone hates. And you're like, why isn't
Right.
this working? Oh, because you
Exactly.
don't even like salad. I should have been making like broccoli or something. Oh, I get it now. And now you wasted all
Yeah.
that time.
That's a good point. Yeah, you will have to revisit those same questions. You ask them on the date, and then you will have to revisit those same questions before you get married to make sure you're still on the same page. Yeah,
And
that's a
also
good point.
to apply what Maya Angelou said, if someone shows you who
Hmm.
they are, believe them.
Right.
So they may answer the questions wonderfully.
Yeah.
I believe a dating coach in the UK has said the same thing.
Hmm.
A lot of times people will answer questions just beautifully
Yeah.
because they are the bad boy, they are the player, so they know how to answer the questions. And you wonder why they can answer them so beautifully and you're having a terrible relationship because they've had that much practice at answering those questions.
That's
So if
right.
their actions are telling you that it does not match that 5-year question or doesn't match the other questions on your date,
Hmm.
well,
Hmm.
then obviously they are showing you who they are and they're telling you lies. But
Exactly.
we are here. I want to go back, just like take a few steps back. And I want to find out about your first event about spring cleaning. I know I'm taking like extra long for the viewers. Thank you for hanging in there with us, though.
Yes.
You know, but Miss Sabri is very interesting, and so is Crazy Love 101. So I want to know a
Thank
little bit
you.
more about your first event.
Oh, the first event was entitled Spring into Love. And as I was stating that we had about 40 attendees and we focused on spring cleaning. So we always spring clean our homes, but this time I focus on going into areas of our lives. So we talked about spring cleaning our minds, our hearts, our identities, our relationships, and our love lives. And because relationships, and not just love relationships, and not just with men, but with your friends, your family, it can leave us with bad blood that could go over into our actual relationships with others, with our spouses. So we really talked about that as well. And our identity, we wanted to spring clean that so we can learn to love ourselves before we can learn to love others. So we really focus on those because really spring cleaning our minds and ourselves, it starts there before we can learn to love someone else. So we talked about that, and that was my first workshop, and it went really well. And as I was telling you earlier, my workshops, I like to incorporate hands-on activities. So one of the activities was I created these closets. It had these little pictures of little jeans and clothes and shoes in the closets. And I had little yarn, so I made little hangers. I had little clothespins. On each clothespin, I had different words, negative words, positive words. So I had like three closets, and I put the people in groups of five. So they were in groups. That way they get to interact with one another and have discussions. Um, this particular exercise, they went into the closets and they got to take out four words that were did not belong in the closet. They were spring cleaning their closets. One of the words, for example, was cheater. um, Someone took that out. They didn't want that in the closet anymore. They wanted to take it out because it was negative. One of the words in there was hatred, jealousy. So they would, and then some positive words in there were love. So they were taking out all the negative words, and they had little brown paper bags. They were simulated to be garbage bags, like we were throwing them away. So each group would go up and take out four negative words out of the closet, and then we would go to each group and we would discuss why we were removing these negative words out of the closet. So they really enjoyed that exercise, and it brought up points on how these negative emotions and feelings can affect your relationships. So it was a really, really good seminar, and it really turned out nice. I really enjoyed it, and they did too.
So, Miss Sabree, oh, I'm sorry, Jade, you were about to ask a question. Go for it. You got it. Oh, thank you kindly. Anyway,
No strikes again.
Really, I heard. Did y'all hear that? Because I heard that. Anyway, moving on. Now I forgot the question. Go ahead, Jade. It's all yours.
No, my question was going to be, where can people, our audience, find you? Like your email, not your email, but your website and your next events coming up.
My website is www.crazylove101.org. And my next event is November 12th, is on a Saturday. Um, this one will be more of a panel discussion. It's called Crazy Love Talk. So it's going to be more of a panel discussion where we'll be talking about how to keep relationships more exciting. We'll be talking about would you date someone with a lower credit score? Would you date someone younger than you, older than you? So we'll be talking about different relationships and dating. We'll be talking about sex. If he pays for your meal, should he get sex on the first date and stuff, things like that. So we'll be having different discussions. And that won't be in November. I'm shooting for November. I just had a big birthday party, and our anniversary is in August too. So planning is going to be very rigorous for this one. But I'm shooting for November 12th for the next event.
Oh, well, sounds wonderful. Oh,
but that's my website, www.crazylove101.org, and my Instagram is @thecrazylove101.
Do you offer any services for those out there and who went to your first conference or are going to think about going to your second conference? In between, do you have any services?
Services that I offer, I have done public speaking. I just did an anniversary. They celebrated 15 years. So I did a public speech for them. So I do offer public speaking, and I also offer workshops. I found that a lot of people don't want to do workshops. I don't know why yet. So now I'm doing virtual workshops, and they are offered online. I have one now called Date Your Mate. That's a virtual workshop online at thecrazylove101.org. So I'm going to virtual workshops. It seems like people don't want to do like invite people workshops. I don't know, maybe they can't get them together. But I do offer workshops if people want to do actual couples workshops, single workshops. They give me the topic, I come out, I do the hands-on exercises, and I run the actual workshop. I bring all the materials. They just give me the topic, or I can come up with the topic. And I also offer public speaking as well.
Well, Ms. Sabri, I want to say thank you so much,
Thank
first
you.
of all, for being here. And since you have
Thank
wrapped
you.
up, I think it's our turn to wrap up.
It's time.
Thank you.
Guys. It's time for the plug.
The last one of the show.
Of the show.
Thank you.
And we are some of the authors of the And I Thought series. So, And I Thought Divorce Was Bad with Other Life Lessons. And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy. Both of those are available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. And then we are And I Thought I Could Juggle It All. And that will be available for pre-order September, I want to say the 3rd. September the 3rd.
It's Labor Day weekend, so it'll be Labor Day weekend. We all know when that is because there's barbecue, fried chicken, and all the wonderful stuff and the sadness of end of summer.
Yeah, I know. It is sadness. But it is what it is.
Also, I wanted to tell you guys, so on Labor Day weekend, we will be speaking at, and the rest of our ladies will be speaking at the Virtual Women's Business Conference, and that is a global conference, 7 countries, 45 professionals. It shall be quite nice.
It will be fun, and we will be there. Your ladies will be speaking. Jade, Wilnona, Kay, and Scarlett Black.
Yeah, they're all on this book.
And I thought I could juggle it all.
Yes, and also since you know that there's an upcoming, we might have a pause in the show on September the 12th. You can always find us on our Blog Talk Radio. We have a podcast on iTunes called And I Thought. Both Blog Talk and the podcast are called And I Thought. You can always check us out at andwethought.com to find instruction for our Roku channel as well as our YouTube channel. Yes. And that's it for me today. Oh, I forgot the 3rd book. And the fourth book. Wow. We're going kind of fast.
No.
Yes, this is my 3rd strike today. Wait, does that
mean I'm out of here? Well, okay, we are about to be out of here.
So, yeah, And I Thought He Was the One is 9 ladies, and they tell about love, dating, relationships, marriage, making marriages work, and heartbreak. Also, a few broken engagements are in there. I think one of the ladies had 3 broken engagements. So she got engaged to, and then started planning the weddings, and then 3 times it didn't work out.
So, okay, you guys, so we're going to end this up. We're going to wrap it up. But just remember, first of all and foremost, I want you guys to have a good week, a couple of days, whatever it is, until you play us again or until we can get back here and you can view us again. So, just remember, wisdom is all around you if
you are willing and open to accepting it and finding it. So have a lovely day, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.